Hi, Vijay Mystery here. In this video, I'll share with you how you can become a world-class leader, entrepreneur, director, executive, and manager. I believe these are golden nuggets and insights which is going to take you to the next level altogether. By the end of this video, you will have an overall growth value at least twofold. Let's go straight into these insights. Now, first and foremost is impact from intelligence. Now, my dear friends, I want to share with you 4 or 5 elements when it comes to impact from intelligence. First and foremost, where does intelligence come from? It's by asking the right questions. Knowledge is getting the right answers. Intelligence is asking the right questions. Now, if you move away from business as usual, what you are doing on a day-to-day basis, and start building that curiosity, what's going to happen? It will start having an impact to the growth, to the value that you are adding to your company. So here's a suggestion, is that start looking into what else is there. How can you progress? What is missing? That is key and crucial. Number 2, you need to have the ability to listen. Find out what's happening with your connectors in your sector, in your industry. Whatever is happening, you need to start listening and finding out. And when I'm talking about listening, it's not just passive listening. It's listening with empathy. It's making sure that you fully understand and grasp and pick up those value connectors or pick up those value touch points which is going to drive growth. Number 3, you need to also find out from surveys. You need to do surveys and pick up what's happening, whether it's a culture of the organization or whether it's with the stakeholders. It could be with your suppliers, your customers or clients. This is crucial, and I see many organizations not doing this. So in order for you to step into world-class leadership, what do you really need to do? You need to ensure that you got the data, you got the analysis, and you can move forward. You need to even collaborate with certain market entrants. Whoever they are, you need to find a network and keep up with what is going on, what is relevant, what is current. That is key and crucial to the growth of your organization. Let's go to the next point, which is signals. In order to become a world-class leader, entrepreneur, director, executive, and manager, you need to be picking up signals. Red flags as well as green lights. What do I mean? You need to find out what are the bottlenecks and what is happening out there at ground level. Whatever it is, you need to pick up those red flags. If they are draggers within your system, it could be technology driven, or it could be some form of resource. It could be a personnel who's not really performing to the level that you expect. You need to get rid of these draggers or eliminate them. Yes, you can give a chance, you can sort of coach, mentor, give them a little bit of chance. But my dear friends, in order for you to move forward, you need to pick up signals on where the red flags are, where the bottlenecks are. And when I'm talking about green lights, what are the drivers in your organization? Where is that thrust? And how can you really add more productivity and maximize on that? So in order for you to make an impact and have that effectiveness, you need to pick those red flags and green light signals. The second part of signals is you need to find out from the financials, because financial at the end of the day is the lifeblood of your organization. As they say, cash is the oxygen for your organization, or liquidity could be the oxygen for your organization. You need to pick up signals as to what's happening from your financials. It's one thing to understand a profit and loss balance sheet and cash flow, but at the same time, picking up the signals and finding out exactly, deeply immersing and finding out exactly what's happening and trying to connect and asking those questions as to what's happening. Why is our capital eroding? Or why are the revenues falling? Or is there a reason why we are issuing so many credit notes? You need to keep on probing and finding out exactly what's happening as regards that particular signal. The third signal is market behavior. Now this is big, especially with the rapid changes happening globally. You know that new entrants keep on coming in and they disrupt markets as well. Market behavior is something which is ongoing, which is consistent. So you need to keep a lookout and make sure that you understand what's going on as far as market conditions are and the market behavior. So you need to find out exactly where the flow is, where is that wave, as I put it. So that is very important. And then again, on signals, here's another thing: your internal processes. What's happening with the people, what's happening with the touch points, what's happening with the coordinates. You need to make sure that you understand and pick up those signals. And how can you really pick up those signals is by stepping back, finding out exactly what's happening in the organization, what's not happening in the organization. These are silent signals which you really need to pick up. This is something which is perception, which is that feeling that you get, because that is so important. Yet I see many leaders not really taking out that time to pick up these particular signals. At the same time, internal processes, at the same time, finding out exactly what the catalysts are. So what are the catalysts in your organization? What are the turning points in your organization? That is really powerful, as well as signals from your value chain. Try developing this skill set. In my opinion, it's one of the most powerful skill sets. If you can pick up this particular skill set, it's going to be an investment which is going to lead you towards leadership mastery, in my opinion. And that can only happen if you start practicing, because they say practice leads to mastery. Try picking up signals from what you are doing. Let's move to the third point, which is diversity. Now look, whenever you're making a decision or whenever there are choices to be made, what do you really need? You need that diversification of thoughts. I'm not talking about diversity of gender or ethnicity, which is important, which are important elements, because you need to get those authentic insights for you to make the right decisions. So it's very important to understand that you get diversified viewpoints. World-class leaders are going to work towards ensuring that they give time, they recognize and respect each and everybody's viewpoints. And I've seen decisions being made just by that influence of one or two people, which is actually ineffective in my opinion. You need to make sure you get that diversified viewpoints. And how can you have diversified viewpoints? Is when you have a culture where you encourage and empower everybody to share their thoughts. That is very key and quite crucial to adding to the bench strength, adding to the synergy to move you to the next level altogether. So I hope that helps. Let's move to the next point, which is competence. My dear friends, competence is key. And right now, what do you really need to do? You need to sharpen your skill sets. You need to sharpen your competencies in order to ensure that you start progressing further. And once you start sharpening your competence, it becomes second nature, and then you can evolve. Number two, you need to make sure that you learn the new key skills required. For example, algorithms. As you and I know, algorithmic insights are very important and very powerful. What do I mean by algorithms? You need to understand what automation is doing to the global landscape and how that is impacting your organization, whether it is machine learning, whether it's the use of bots, BOTS, which automates certain processes in your organization, or it's 3D printing. All this is so powerful and so important, and the e-commerce portal as well. So these are powerful insights, and you need to keep on evolving and ensuring that you keep on learning. So always train and develop yourself. So here's a suggestion. Look into what are the things that you can do which are going to be industry specific in your organization, what's going to make an impact in your industry, whether it's a conference, whether it's a retreat, or whether it's subscribing to a journal, whatever it is for your organization. You need to have those insights. So try networking and finding out what are the new things out there which is having a direct or indirect impact to the growth of your organization. Let's forge forward to the next point, which is self-mastery. My dear friends, nothing substitutes self-mastery. You need to be confident, and you need to have that self-esteem as well. And where do you get confidence from? Is when you have the competence, because competence is knowledge, skills, and experience. So, in order for you to have that self mastery, you need to be current, you need to be on a platform where you have the holistic view of what is going on. And again, that is one part of self mastery. Secondly, you need to take some time off in the sense that you need to refuel your brain. So you need to step back and make sure that whether it's a Sunday or whether it's one of the weekends, you need to just take a break away from everything. That's going to lead towards refreshing your mindset itself and building into the clarity, which is very important. Number 3, you need to eliminate the chaos within. So in other words, inner alignment is very important, and being authentic is exceptionally powerful. So what happens is you walk with a value. World-class directors, executives, managers, entrepreneurs, and leaders, they walk with a value. So you have that value within yourself when you have that self-mastery. Another point which I would like to share with you is that you need to have that emotional fortitude. So in other words, if somebody criticizes you or if there is that criticism, you need to have that emotional fortitude within yourself to accept it. Like they say, you need to be slightly thick-skinned as well. It's better to find out exactly what's going on or improve on any decisions that you have made. So you need to look into what it is. But at the end of the day, self-mastery is very important. I know of many world-class leaders, entrepreneurs, directors, executives, and managers who meditate. Whether it's meditate means just stepping out, and I'm not talking from a spiritual standpoint, but it just helps the brain to refresh and refuel and recalibrate. So consider self-mastery as an integral standpoint to your growth. Let's move forward to the next point, which is mindset. Now look, again, attached to the self-mastery is mindset. Now, past does not equal the future. You may have past successes, and success leaves clues, as you and I know, but at the end of the day, you need to figure out exactly what the future holds, because the turning points, the catalysts, the what's happening as we cover different terrain and milestones, what's happening? There are new changes, everything is evolving. You need to shift your mindset to a level which is beyond the horizon as well. And how can you do that? By asking those questions, which is going to lead you to a different heightened level altogether. This is a simple example. So say you might be anticipating growth of 20% in the next 12 months. And I'm just giving you a hypothetical example here. My question to you is, what if you change that mindset and say, how can we improve 20% in the next 6 months? What is it that we need to do? By that, you're building a level of urgency, you're building a level of acceleration, and you're looking into opportunities and possibilities which may work for your organization. So shift your mindset to a level of growth. And here's another point. The world has changed, and this may apply to your industry, but instead of looking at a 10% increase or a 20% increase, I challenge you that what if you can increase it twofold or fivefold or tenfold within the next 2 to 3 years? Now, those possibilities are real, as you and I know what's currently happening with the industries. So you need to shift your mindset rather than business as usual and having that complacency, which I see some leaders having. You need to move to a mindset which is growth driven, which is progressing, which is stretching the limits as well. So consider that and build that mental muscle of moving to another level altogether. Let's move to the last point, which is equally important, which is focus. Again, nothing substitutes laser sharp focus. In order for you to leverage priorities, and I'm talking about the 80-20 principle here, because 20% of what you do produces 80% of the results in many instances. So here's my challenge to you. What if you focus on that 20% and pick up on the leverage and maximize the return on your time by building and maximizing what you are doing, moving and heightening the whole growth trajectory in your industry? And that can be so powerful. It can drive a different level altogether. I see so many distractions with leaders, entrepreneurs, directors, executives, and managers. They are always distracted, including in meetings. And again, here's another thing. If you are having meetings, make sure it's focused. It's completely immersed and focused. And that immersion can only happen if you are deeply connected to the purpose of the organization as well. So my dear friends, please focus and ensure that for you to become a world-class leader, entrepreneur, director, executive, and manager, you need to build upon that discipline, that mental discipline of ensuring that you have that right focus. So my dear friends, I hope you found this video on becoming a world-class leader, entrepreneur, director, executive, and manager insightful, and I hope it helps you to take you to another level. There are many other elements for you to become a world-class leader, entrepreneur, director, executive, and manager, which I'll share in future videos. But for now, I hope these will help you to scale up and for you to move to another level. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.